Hi guys, hope everyone's well. Just wanted to give you a quick update. So I think many of you know that my schedule was currently flushing once a week, which may seem controversial in terms of the sort of proposed traditional schedule of liver flushing, which is once a month in line with the lunar kind of calendar. But at the moment, I'm just going with my symptoms. So I would say that about 2 months ago, I was in a really good place. And then gradually, I started to experience some return of fatigue and brain fog, and particularly after in the afternoons, and kind of feeling sort of really tired and wanting to fall asleep. It's quite interesting because that wasn't my experience having ME or chronic fatigue syndrome in my 30s, because I was very, very wired and I couldn't really relax enough to fall asleep. So these symptoms kind of correlate more with what was going on in my 20s, where I was working and studying, but in fact, I was doing a PhD, but I was really struggling with afternoon fatigue, just sort of like just not able to keep my eyes open and falling asleep, particularly after lunch. So it just feels like kind of coming out of nowhere almost, that this, coming after a particular flush, this started to happen about maybe maybe a month and a half ago. So for me, this definitely feels like retracing. It's hard to kind of, I feel like it's a hard message to kind of put out there for people who were hoping maybe, that by over 100 flushes, you'd be kind of considerably on your way to being healed. And my point is that no two people are the same. I've been chronically ill for kind of my whole life, as I've said before. So I think for people who kind of maybe were mostly healthy but then encountered health problems in their 20s or their 30s or their 40s or whatever, if you were mainly functioning, then there's nothing to say that your journey is going to be like mine. My journey is my individual experience, and all I can say is I'm playing the long game. It's not some kind of sudden relapse, because I don't think the body does that. In all other respects, I'm still, doing pretty well. I was just thinking the other day, I haven't had a cold for almost, well, over a year and a half. And when I was really sick in my early 40s, before I started flushing regularly, I was getting a cold every 2 weeks. I mean, in all seriousness, I'd get over one cold and then I'd get another. So, obviously, at this point, kind of having done 116 flushes, it perhaps feels like you're delivering a kind of rather sobering message that, I'm still dealing with these kind of symptoms after this much time. But, the fact is these are symptoms that are connected to a particular time in my life, and I think I'm just dealing with whatever toxicity is, being peeled away. Where it's sitting in my liver, it's like an excavation, and it's kind of going back in time and finding particular like veins of, toxicity within the structure of the liver. It's like, I suppose, excavating an old ruin. I don't want to call myself an old ruin, but you know what I mean. It's archeological in nature. So there's nothing to say that this will be your experience. It might be, but you have your own issues, and the liver flush will help you kind of archaeologically peel back the layers of your own history. So I hope nobody's kind of, will find this kind of too much of a negative message. I don't want it to be a negative message. I'm now flushing twice a week currently, which is still doable. You know, I recover pretty quickly. I recover within a day. And for me, like that post-flush phase is so important for me to be able to do my job and look after my family and do all the other things and socialise with friends. It's part of my life now. So anyway, onwards and upwards. I don't expect this phase of toxicity to last forever. With previous phases, I've dealt with things for, you know, a month or a couple of months and then they've gone away again. So yeah, just to let you know what's going on with me. I hope everyone is well. Have a great day and I will speak to you soon.